Hello everybody, welcome to round number 15 of 20 of Season 6 of the Sunoco Elite Series. We are here. A little bit of a change of plans on the direction of the schedule, but we are here at Tokyo World Raceway in Tokyo, Japan. The round of Japan. We're still here in Japan this week, but Twin Ring Motegi had some issues. But we are glad that Tokyo World Raceway was willing to accommodate us here today. So a little change of plans, and a lot of guys not used to this track, so it's going to be interesting to see how people can adapt to this new track on the schedule. But with how practice and qualifying went, there's rumors that this track is here to stay. On pole position today, it's William Brock getting surprisingly his first pole position of the year in that 01 car. Right now, he tails Jackson by less than 20 points. The championship battle is getting tighter and tighter, and this is exactly what Brock needed to be able to catch up to Jackson even more. Alongside Cordell Paulson making a full frontal lockout of the front row. Paulson's season has been a little bit shaky for the last few races, but he still sits in the top 10 if I'm correct. And he's hoping to rebound here starting P2 and hope to go after a title, his second of his career. Then it's a Maverick Wolf Racing front row 2 lockout with Roman Rahal, who has a worst finish of 25th this season, still has scored points in every single event. And Philip Scott, who has 3 pole positions this season, tried to go for 4, but still P4 in the race. It's going to be interesting to see what Scott can do. On row 3, the big shocker in the top 10 is William Karlsson Jr., the Swedish driver, sitting on the inside row 3. This is a very good spot to be in for Karlsson, and it could show to be beneficial as this race goes on. We'll see what the Rank C Monarch can do. Alongside Julio Cesar. Cesar, like mentioned before, that this is going to be his one and only half year at Roush Racing Enterprises before he moves away, because Tyler Thaber is going to take that car next year. But Cesar trying to prove his worth in his last few races. On row 4, you got Alexander Rowe. It's another Maverick Wolf lockout, but this is row 4. Alexander Rowe has had probably the shakiest season of all the Mavericks, and losing his ride, we are still unsure where Rowe is going next year. Alongside the points leader, Paul Jackson, I believe it's 16 points up on William Brock. He starts outside row 4, P8. It's a good place to start. We'll see if he can catch up to Brock and take the lead and maybe win his 3rd race of the year. And on row 5, you got John Art, who nothing confirmed about his ride either. Not confirmed whether he's staying or leaving from Scott Ganassi, as his longtime teammate Pericles has confirmed leaving. So Art has maybe a little worried about his ride, but I wouldn't be too worried with the place he is in points. And that's alongside William Duncan, who has been gaining a lot of positions in the last few races. He's been on a good streak as of late. We'll see what Duncan can do today here in Twin Ring to see if he can get another good finish in the books. Sorry about that, we had a little bit of an issue, but when we look at a few penalties were handed out in practice. PJ Karenko involved in an incident with William Duncan. Good thing is Duncan didn't have to go to a backup, and Freeze did a very bad thing in practice and nailed Jack Halleck. Halleck didn't have to go to a backup either, but it's not looking good for Vince Freeze way at the rear of the field. Jovic and Anderson to backups. Jovic had a major mechanical issue early, can never get it fixed, and Anderson as well, but later in the session. As here, we're about to get the command here in Japan.
Drivers, start your engines!
Cars are fired up, ready to go. We're going to pull off pit lane. 80 laps, 1 pit stop. It's not like Twin Ring, it's not like Calder Park. I know there's going to be a pit stop this time. There has to be. But a front row lockout from Full Frontal Motorsports really putting the pressure on, not necessarily Maverick. Maverick seems pretty solid in the championship, but they're more putting pressure on Jackson, trying to take away his points lead. Jackson has held the points lead every single race but Denver and Pensacola. Other than that, he's been in the points lead in every other race. Today may be the day he gets dethroned. Because right now, with Brock leading and Jackson starting on the outside, there's trouble. But another bit of trouble, Iran has an issue. Alright, sorry about that. We had a little bit of mechanical issue coming to this start. But this race should be interesting. First ever time at Tokyo World Raceway. And we don't know what to expect. You know, one pit stop is in the works here. Expect around maybe lap 60, if I'm correct. But surprisingly, for the first time this season, the 10-time winner in Sunoco Elite Series, it's William Brock. Lead down to the green flag here. 80 laps around Tokyo World Raceway, and green flag is in the air in Japan. What a start for Brock. That's what he needed. Get out front and try and run away. As we now barrel down the back straightaway. Rahal going for second. Carlson going for fourth. He's got it. But now Carlson under pressure from the 87. How long can he keep him at bay? Not for very long. Here comes Rowe. And the Japanese crowd very happy about this. Japanese crowd loves to see their manufacturers at the front. Very passionate about motorsports here in Japan. But surrounded by the Ford Alliance is not what they want after the track record that the Ford Alliance has had with Honda. And Caldwell. So, yeah, Ford doesn't really have a good relationship with this crowd. But Rahal now in the lead of this race over Brock. We're on lap 3. Look at Ryan Griffin. Down the inside of Curtis, trying to block Shepard. He's got his teammate, Skylar Johnson. She's 2 spots back. Shock Allison looking very strong earlier. This is what they need to try to make up some lost time. There's Irvine. Irvine's looking for a good finish to try to keep in front of Shock Allison and go for the rank B spot. Where is Bartlett? Fighting for last. Not what Bartlett wants. He's not too good around these places. Coming to lap 5. Brock closes the gap back down to Roman Rahal. Your leaderboard's up. Your fastest lap in the first few laps. It's William Brock, but now it's Shepard. But Brock down the inside for the lead here at Tokyo. Full Frontal does not want to give up this lead. As now, Honda's going to go back to chasing after Chevy. And he's going to sweep right back down the inside. Rahal has no win this year. Brock does. You know Rahal's desperate. He has an amazing season going because of his consistency, not because of his ability to win races. Look at Gerard Iran making the Japanese crowd very happy as he's down the inside of the 05. This is for 5th. Or is he already in 5th? He is. So he's going for 4th. Iran looks very strong right now. I saw Irvine's crack the top 10. Up into P8. There's Scott Roush making up spots. Jackson's going to peek down the inside of William Duncan. Get low. Look at Anderson. He started at the very rear of the field, and he's already trying to get into a top 10. On lap 7. There goes Shepard. That was a very excellent, very clean move out of the 34 car. Iran just going to leech off of it and take 3rd. Iran may not be done yet, though. Here he comes on Shepard for 2nd. Gerard Iran looking quick right now, and that is exactly what the Japanese crowd likes to see, because here comes Rahal as well. Toyota and Honda, the big favorites out here today. Not sure if they'd work together for it, though, but here comes Rowe as well on Shepard. Once you get low, it's not hard to keep it, but Shepard just can't get low. Everyone keeps pushing him wide. Uh-oh. Here he comes. Jackson finally getting a move on. That's... What move is that? That's 9th, if I'm correct. And Carson Bauer's atrocious season would continue as Bartlett would clip Scott, go into Ray, and Bowers around Ray's around. He saves the car. It's a nice save. Bowers has had an atrocious season, and it continues here. Bad luck for him, and bad luck for Scott as well. They're going to review the tape, and they may penalize Bartlett for that. On board with Dan Bartlett in this incident, as he'd be fighting. Oh, yeah, he just clips him. Bumper's locked. I'm not sure if they're going to penalize Bartlett for that, but they might. They may. Dan Bartlett. Oh, Bowers cannot be happy right now. But because of that, William Brock will be able to keep the lead. We'll be back. As we come down to pit stops, it looks like we're going to see some split strategy. Because here comes Halleck, here comes Anderson. That's Windham as well. Down low, going for it. I don't know what Rowe's doing. He's slipping back in the line now. Are they in the pits? Is this a split? Yes, it is. Some are staying out, some are coming in. This is going to make the race really interesting. And especially one person that's going to be especially interesting to see, that 40 car. Max Anderson is in the pits. All right, lights are out. I believe everyone is still on the lead lap. Yes. Here are the pit takers back here. Halleck and Anderson are the ones to watch right now. Yo. I don't know how this is going to go. They may have just made an absolutely amazing call, but the problem with that is they do need to pit again. Or do they? There's no way. There's no way they can make it to the end with that. There's no way they can meet the Delta. I don't believe it. If they can, then Anderson's in a great spot, because he's definitely one of the fastest guys in the field. But we'll see. We'll see as this race goes on. What's going to happen with this split strategy? William Brock on older tires. Many people on older tires than the guys at the rear, but it'll be William Brock. Battle with Ray Hall for a bit, but he's kept the lead so far in the race. Fastest lap, Jackson. He only slipped 27. He could be a threat, but it'll be William Brock bringing him back down to the green flag here at Tokyo World Raceway in Japan. Lap 13 of 80. As green flag is back in the air in Japan. And Iran, that's a good start. Brock might be in danger in one. Yes, he is. Very swift move, and it's Gerard Iran to the lead. Roman Ray Hall gonna take advantage of that. Thank you very much. Hall takes second position. The battle seems to be the three big rank A teams, along with Iran, Arndt, and Johnson. Maybe Dak Jovic is joining into this, actually. That's interesting. As now we watch Iran at the front. We are watching that 83 sweeping down the inside. Roman Rahal trying to get back into the lead. Look at the 10. Jackson, very, very eager. He touches Roush. Right now, it's Rahal in the lead. How did the guys at the rear get off to? Oh, Anderson is hunting. Much better tires is going to work out for them, it seems. But look at the pack. It's all in chaos. Duncan's joining back into this fight. Look at Alex Bignacco. It was an amazing week last week at Calder Park. He's trying to follow it up with another one. Jackson. It's a Maverick top two with Dak Jovic in third. But here he comes, the points leader. Paul Jackson for the lead here in Tokyo. Jackson leads in Japan, and that's 2 extra points for his championship right there. That's what he needed. I saw Brock on the hunt. Roush is on the hunt. Iran's back. Contact! That's Griffin in the wall! Oh, Carlson, what was that? Oh my god. Trailblazer not looking good, but they'll take 2 free spots, you know. Who wouldn't? Especially against a Shock Allison, the biggest rival currently. Oh, they're getting dangerous back here. Look back up. Duncan making a 3-wide move. With Roush included in the package deal. Look at that, was a huge move for Duncan. Up into 6th. It's still Paul Jackson though leading this race over Jovic. Still looking for career win number 1. Iran still looking for career win number 1. Rahal. It's been a while since Rahal's won. Rahal hasn't won since season 2. I see that on timing scoring. Jovic's very close. Yes, he is. Dak Jovic to the lead. That may not last. That 91 looks eager. There he goes. Iran down the inside. Sorry if I'm not incredibly enthusiastic. My stomach's being off today. But I'll try. There's Roman Rahal going for 2nd place now. Not 2nd, 3rd. Jackson held the lead for a while, but I'm very scared because you can see now who's coming in division. Halleck, new tires. Anderson, new tires. Keep an eye out. Jackson back down the inside of Jovic. Back into 3rd. Is he going to go after his teammate for 2nd? Right after him. Jackson doesn't want to be done yet. He doesn't want to stop leading this race. But it's Iran who leads it for now. Jackson back for the lead. Rahal stalling Halleck. You can only stall him for so long. But a stall is a stall. Jovic's gonna help. Brock's gonna help. They're all trying to push him back. But this is just leading Anderson up. Push one down, the other one comes. It's not good, but Jackson back in the lead. Back being chased down by Iran, Rahal, and Jovic. Alright, sorry about that. Had to go get a drink because my throat was parched. But we're on lap 41 now. Halleck into the lead of this race. And that is not what people wanted to see when it comes to just everyone else's race, because that's a guy with newer tires now in the lead. But that's exactly what the Japanese crowd wants to see, a Toyota in the lead. But you can see 39. How big of an obstacle? Not even one. And everyone's just gonna push him out of the way. Jackson slips down the inside, a little bit held up, but not too bad. They're just gonna push Bowers back. Hopefully he doesn't cause an incident. Jovic not done with Halleck. He's not gonna let him go. Back down the inside. And somehow Jovic is back in front of the guy with new tires. Roush now gonna make quick work of him. Anderson versus Jackson's going on currently. The outside's not as weak in 1 and 2, so Jackson may be able to recover to keep it on the inside here. And now Roush and Rahal are down the inside of him. Did Halleck push too hard? And his tires just weren't able to keep up, because I thought he got back on the inside and he just got challenged again. Anderson, that didn't last long against Jackson. Oh yeah, you know who's very happy about this race? Paul Jackson. He was able to get to the front so far. So far, you never know. But so far, he's been able to keep it pretty clean. And stay ahead of Brock. So, can't be too mad. Jovic is being chased down by 3 of the scariest people right now. There was a wreck! No box in the wall! That's huge! That is huge championship implications! William Brock is in the wall! What happened? William Brock would be in a battle with Roush and Iran. And just when he thought he had a chance to get up to Jackson, Iran would clip Roush, Roush would clip Brock, and Brock's in the wall! Jackson's not only up about that, but Shepard got stalled. The two biggest rivals to Jackson just got wrecked. Not necessarily wrecked, but put into a wall and slowed down. But you never know what can happen in a race like this. It could all go south for Jackson in a moment. But Jovic continues to lead this race. Anderson down the inside, trying to go for 3 wins on the year. Jackson trying to go for 3 wins on the year. Jovic trying to get his first. Halleck trying to get his first. Rahal trying to get his first. Ron trying to get his first. Roush go for 2. Caldwell hasn't won in like 2 seasons, 3 seasons. Surprising because he was a pretty consistent winner back in the day, but in his goodbye tour, he just hasn't been able to keep up. I just heard someone else in the wall. There are people pitting. Is this pit cycle? Also, did I see Brock somewhere? Brock's in the pits. I think this is pit cycle though, but he does have to get damage repairs. So, if this is the start of the pit cycle, what happens now? It is! Oh, no, that was Bowers. Bowers is different. I don't think Griffin had issues though. Griffin had been in the wall. Bouchard I don't think has issues. I think it's pit cycle. If so, if pit cycles are starting and those are the undercutters, when does it start, truly? When will we see the first guy from the front dive? Who's the brave one? The undercut, from what we saw with newer tires, the undercut is so much better. The problem is, if someone pits and then a caution comes out, what then? And I'm betting that's what they're afraid of. They don't want a caution to come out while they're in the pits because that will ruin your race. Alec getting through Curtis, a lap car. But I believe Curtis is already pit. He was an undercutter. He doesn't seem like he has pace though, so it may have actually been an issue. Jackson starting to drop back. I don't think he's too mad about that because even with Roush going through, where's Brock? A log's in! That's it! That's the signal! It's begun. A log's in, Fitzwater's in, Arndt's in. Connor Monaco, Finn guy, Bartlett's gonna undercut. That's a good idea. Who's the first diver from the lead pack? Is it Iran? It's Iran! Oh, that's a good call. Jackson's in, Roush is in, Caldwell's in. A lot of people are in. Paulson's still out. But it's Anderson and Halleck. Who could have guessed? These two will be out for about 10 more laps. Give them some time. They'll be in, though. But they still got a bit to go, and they have clean air now. Watch pit lane. There are the guys from the last stint. Finn guys, Scott, Angel. Then we watch the next group. Iran, Roush, Jackson. Can Jackson get him out of the pits? No. Okay. Brock's lap down. I am like 100% certain. Yeah, Brock's lap down. Now we get in really dangerous territory, and why the decision to stay out, or the decision to come in that caution was so good. If a caution comes out now, everyone is screwed, except for Halleck and Anderson. And I think that's why Caesar, Monaco, Windhelm, and Krenko are stretching it. And Mulcher, but Mulcher is now in. That's why they're stretching it. Because they know they have a chance. If a caution comes out. That's what they're praying for. They want a caution. And that's such a risky thing to hope for. Because if it fails, they're going to fall through the field from where they were. Jackson back in provisional third, but it's Caldwell trying to get his last win of his, what could be his last win of his career in Japan. A log trying to finally get another win to his name. And Jackson still going for 3 this year. That would be amazing for Jackson. I think if the order ended as it is, though, I don't think Jackson would be mad with that. Because his championship rivals really did not like that pit cycle. I also just noticed how close they are to the rear end of the lead cars. They're like, where's Shepard? 21st. Where's Brock? 33rd. So, Jackson is having a good day. He's through Caldwell now. A log. Provisional lead. Jackson trying to hunt him. Where's the 51? Still out. Anderson still out. Could Halleck actually get his first win of the year and his 6th of his career? There's no way. There's no way they could stretch these tires this far. And the fuel especially. Rahal trying to get himself out of the 2-lap down range. There's no way. I don't believe it. I don't believe that they can make it. It's a lie. We'll continue to watch. Lap 73. Rahal pushes Halleck out of the way and gets himself back onto 1 lap down. Could this have been strategy that won him the race? 74. This is 7 laps to go. And no flinch out of the 51 or the 40. Oh yeah, if you want to go look at the guys' provisional, they're actually ahead right here, yeah. It's Jackson versus Caldwell. Ooh, Caldwell, that was aggressive. How was a teensy bit too aggressive? Halleck. Could it actually be 6 laps to go for Jack Halleck? And I think it's starting to sink in for everyone else. They're not pitting. They just won't. And I think it's finally sinking in for everyone. Something's wrong. 5 laps to go for Jack Halleck. And even if they pit, the big question that's asked now, Windhelm's in. Uh-oh. Caesar's in. I was about to ask, do they need to pit? The answer was yes. This means it's now the time. No. They're going to keep trying. 4 laps to go. Can they stretch it? How much fuel is left? It's got to be so little. They've got to have so little left in the car. They don't want to risk running out of fuel. Halleck's called it. They gave up. They couldn't do it. They're in. Who's leading? It's Jackson. Could it be? Windham ended up behind. Is it Jackson? Caution's out! Oh my god. I just saw the caution lights. Who's gonna be counted? That just ended the race. Who's gonna be counted? I don't think anyone knows what's going on right now. It's freeze up in smoke. So coming in, the teammates would tag together and Fitzwater would hit freeze, and freeze would be sent into the inside wall. He would be able to keep going, but the car is done. But now it begs the question, what just happened? Now, what I mean by that is, when did the caution come out? There. Who's leading at the time of caution? Halleck. Because there's Jackson. If they didn't. If the caution didn't come out, Jackson would have just won. But the caution did come out. Honestly, the stewards are just as confused as everyone else. We'll solve it out. I think Halleck may have this. So, the stewards are telling a lot of people to stop, because the stewards do not know what's going on. And they are going to credit it to Max Anderson. No. Who are they I have no signal on what's going on. I think Jack Halleck was just credited with the win. I think we're on the final lap. We're rolling around to the end. And I think they're going to credit Jack Halleck as the winner of this race. That was the most chaotic finish we've ever had. The stewards are going to look into it. They are going to look into it, and they're going to discuss what's going to be done about this, because the stewards are very confused on the call to make. Because even though Jack Halleck had it at the line, he had been in the pits at the time, and Jackson had overtaken him. So they are going to rediscuss who wins this race. This is all unofficial. But unofficially, Jack Halleck is the winner at Tokyo World. Unofficially. They may change it. So the stewards are going to have a talk right there. We are now unofficially in the final results. We're going to go have a talk with the stewards. We'll be back. Okay, so we have a ruling in place. Jack Halleck and Max Anderson were in pit lane. The moment caution came out, when we watch it here, we're going to wait for the light to flash. It's then. And they had been coming out of their pit stalls. They had just been before the line. As caution came out, and the stewards are going to rule that they will be counted on their position, not on when they crossed the line, but on where they were at pit exit instead. So this changes some things in the order. Alright, we're going to stop right there. And we're just going to let this go. But this entire explanation here is wrong. I was wrong. I ruled incorrectly, although I was correct about the pit exit thing. I was wrong about the ruling itself on who was credited with the win. And that is because I had been looking for the other drivers, and it was hard to tell what was actually going on because drivers were allowed to re-wrap around, and that really confused some things. As you'll see as an example right here, Eric coming out of the pits. Well, yes, you didn't get to see that because old me backed it up, but Eric came out of the pits behind everyone and proceeded to zoom past everyone and wrap around the entire field. And that caused some shaking up, and for a while now I've been looking into who was where. And at the time of caution, because this caution was really confusing for a very long time. Here's the thing. The game's ruling was wrong. It counted them based off of where they were when they crossed the line. The problem with that is that if their pit stall was after pit lane and they came out of their pit lane and caution came out, they were already past the line. So things would be counted way differently, and that seems way unfair. We need a consistent way to rule, and the end of pit lane is the best logical place to rule. Initially, I thought that Julio Cesar had been ahead at pit exit. I was wrong. Because the way they wrapped around, I wasn't sure how far or ahead people were. And what I figured out now is the game was both incorrect and correct. The way it ruled it was wrong, and if in a slightly different scenario, we would be with a completely different winner. But that's wrong. You'll see here now, Eric comes out of the pits and passes the entire field and wraps around, and that's because he had passed the finish line before everyone else. And that was really weird. But it's technically correct. Even though the game does count it at the finish line, they are correct. Jack Halleck is the winner. He should be. Jack Halleck did come out of pit lane, and because everyone was in a weird position after everyone wrapped around, I have thought that they were counted a lap down because they wrapped around. That's wrong. They were a lap down because the drivers who went in the initial pit cycle took tires. Halleck, Anderson, Eric, and Caesar did not. Although, I do believe there is one swap, and that is Caesar should be ahead of Eric. And that's because of the finish line thing. And that's what I'm saying. In a slightly different scenario, this could have ended completely different. But I think Caesar should be counted ahead of Eric Monaco. So the official ruling, despite what I say in the video, the official ruling, Julio Cesar is swapped with Eric Monaco, and Jack Halleck does in fact win this race. This took me the last 30 minutes of looking through this clip over and over, looking over and over this entire clip, figuring out where exactly everyone was on what lap the moment the caution came out. Jack Halleck is still the winner. But Eric and Caesar are swapped. Caesar gets the podium, Eric gets fourth. Other than that, everything stays the same. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I'm sorry for the mix-up. Everything was really weird. I hope you understand. Congratulations to Jack Halleck winning this race. And, yeah. We're going to look at finishing results. There's going to be no audio from me because this audio is going to be wrong because I counted Eric Monaco with the win when I shouldn't have. But you are going to get to see the finishing results. Just keep in mind, Caesar and Eric are swapped. Congratulations to Jack Halleck. We'll see you all next time in Cardiola. Thank you for understanding. Ciao.